All right, well, it's 10 o'clock, and we'll start our first downtown download for the year 2023. My name is Lieutenant Bill Offeld. For those of you that don't know me, I'm with the Fargo Police Department in charge of our Specialized Services unit. Within that Specialized Services unit, we have our community engagement team, and part of that team's mission is to patrol our downtown area and deal with quality of life issues and police issues in the downtown. And so I'm glad you're all here today. I'm glad you all are tuning in if you're watching online. What we're doing this year, last year we were doing kind of a revised schedule of how we were going to do this. Starting in May, we were doing it monthly and just doing one at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year. What we're going to do this year is a quarterly downtown download. And so our next one will be in June after this, unless something comes up where we want to communicate something to the public through one of them, then we can always pop one up, and we'll advertise that through our social media pages. So keep looking at our social media to see when these are going to be. What I wanted to do is just give a little bit of an agenda here. We're going to talk about noise ordinance. As you remember, last year, starting in about May, noise became a very large issue for our downtown area, and I want to talk about some of the forward progress we've made, not only with noise ordinance, but what we're planning on doing this year with noise. I want to just introduce, we have some new members on our team, so I want to introduce our engagement sergeants that'll be working through the 2023 year and working on some of the issues that we've been dealing with for the last year and some of the new initiatives that we're going to be taking on this year. We'll talk about our parking project. That's an ongoing project for our cab stands and our ride share pickup areas in the city. We'll talk a little bit about our directed plan enforcement, some work we're doing with our homelessness and some mental health issues in the downtown area, and then just a quick reminder of our St. Patrick's Day parade. So we'll get going here. Noise ordinance. So as you remember, last spring, this was something that came up with our not only some of our downtown businesses and residents that live downtown, but also our street performers that are working downtown and trying to make a living and entertaining people in our downtown area. Where the city is at right now is they've been approved to do an RFP to find someone, an engineering group or company that will be able to do some type of noise ordinance study. Or sound study, and that sound study is going to be focused on the Broadway corridor to begin with. Basically, our downtown business district, and that's where a lot of our, especially street performances, are happening, because that's where a lot of people are at and part of our vibrant downtown. So that focus will be on the downtown Broadway area. It's going to be, the study will take place sometime this spring into the summer of 2023. Really what we're looking for is what is the appropriate level for different areas of our downtown that environmentally is safe for everybody, and also seeing if there are different areas where there can be different levels of sound at different times of the day and the night. So that's what that study is going to be. In the beginning of this kind of fall of 2022, we were hoping that we would have something in place towards this spring, but this, as we dig into it, is we want it to be a more comprehensive study. We want to make sure that it's done thoroughly and done right, and make sure that we include everybody once we come up with some possible solutions in the community to voice their opinion on where it should be. So we're hoping that by this summer we will have something in place, or at least start working on that new ordinance. Until then, we're going to continue with what we did last year, and that is we're going to enforce our two city ordinances, one being for loud and unnecessary noise. So if there are complaints on noise, if it is deemed to be loud or unnecessary, officers could take enforcement action on that noise if someone is creating that type of noise. The second thing we're going to be doing as it pertains to street performers is we'll continue with that 10 p.m. Quit time for street performances. So if you are busking, if you are a street performer, we still will be following that city ordinance with a hard cutoff at 10 p.m. So again, this is the way we're going to be doing it until a new ordinance for noise in our city can be created, trying to keep everybody in mind with that. So more to come on that and more updates on that as we go. So specialized services, last year, specialized services was based mainly on community engagement and encompassed our DRO, Downtown Resource Officer group, but focused on a lot of youth engagement. And we have restructured a bit. We've added 2 sergeants. We've also added our downtown, new names, I guess, for downtown resource officers. We're calling them downtown engagement officers now. And we're added to that group what we call our community engagement officers. And it's going to be a 7, possibly an 8 officer group. A lot of the focus of that group in the spring here will be in the downtown area, but also we'll be looking at trying to solve some problems, community issues, and also doing community engagement throughout the city as we gain more officers. So it's going to be no longer a Monday through Friday coverage. It's going to be an every day of the week coverage in the downtown area. And we'll be specializing in some of the events down here and also outreach to our homeless community and our businesses in the downtown area. So our sergeant in charge of our community engagement team is Sergeant Michael Anderson. He's here today. I don't know if you want to just kind of give everybody a little wave. And Michael's going to be dealing mainly with our downtown issues, and you'll see him at a lot of the meetings. If I cannot be there, he'll be filling in for me. Also in our specialized services unit, we deal with a lot of things like parking. We deal with a lot of things like parade planning, event planning, and a lot of other types of permitting, overtime details, all kinds of stuff like that. And Sergeant Matt Istabo is going to be in charge of that, and we'll talk about a couple of the projects that both of these sergeants are going to be involved with. So Matt, I don't know if you want to just give everybody a wave really quick, and he is our specialized services sergeant, and Sergeant Michael Anderson is our community engagement sergeant. So they'll be carrying through with a lot of programs that we're going to be putting into play here in the spring that we'll talk about here shortly. So just wanted to introduce them very quickly. Parking project. This was something that we ended with last year. We were able to get an ordinance passed for cab stands and rideshare pickup. Started off in August of last year with this, and it was a little bit of a rough start trying to coordinate all the cab companies, all of the rideshare companies, and then the many drivers who are working for them to go to these areas. We're geofencing, and that was working part of the time. Also, the areas are marked with the signs that you see here, but those signs look a lot like other signs that we have downtown, and there are a lot of people that aren't even seeing them. And so we're going to take just a little bit of a new initiative with this in spring of 2023 in trying to mark them a little better. And we have a couple of ideas in place. This is Sergeant Istabo's project now, and he's bringing a fresh set of eyes and a lot of experience to the table on this. Looking at an ongoing communication plan. I know the DCP has some type of parking app or something like that on their website that people are able to go into. We want to start posting on there, and then just opening up lines of communication with our rideshare companies again to see if we can make that geofencing a little better, working with engineering on possible signage also. So just a reminder on that. This is Thursday through basically early Sunday morning, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. The loading zones, as they're called by sign, are for passenger pickup only. Separate areas for cab stand. Parking time limit in those areas of 10 minutes. And the vehicles in those areas must be occupied at all times. What we were doing last year and we'll continue to do is spot checks, overtime details to make sure that people aren't parking in the areas. What happens is people park their cars in the areas and then rideshare can't use them, and it turns into a big mess. So working with those a little bit more as we start up for the spring, hoping to get them working a little bit more smoothly into the summer of 2023. Directed enforcement, this is something that we started doing in August of last year and will continue. This will be Sergeant Anderson's project, putting together, based on data-driven times and locations, putting together extra details, saturations in our downtown area, looking at quality of life issues. At nighttime, the complaints we have are loud engine noise, loud people, fights, and just a lot of those quality of life issues that make it hard for individuals that are living downtown. And so we're going to focus on that just a little bit more in those nighttime hours based on data and where we're seeing the issues. And so More to come on that. Of course, we usually don't announce when those are going to be, but we take oftentimes no tolerance approaches to quality of life issues in the Broadway corridor with these directed enforcements. Homelessness, mental health outreach. One of our new community engagement officers, you see her picture here, she's not present today, but her name is Denicia Music. And Denicia's taken a real interest in working with some of our mental health providers as her role as engagement officer. And so we created a liaison position for her. She's been working with Southeast quite a bit, Southeast Human Services, which deals with a lot of our individuals locally who are in mental health crisis. And she's also acting as a liaison to mobile outreach and some of our, the downtown engagement center, some of our areas that deal with homelessness. And so been doing a very good job building that relationship that we need. That's going to help us assist with our homeless encampment outreach that we've been doing for the last couple of years now. We're going to add Southeast Human Services to that, and we're also looking at trying to add some type of mobile outreach in our downtown area with Southeast, working with Officer Music, and more than likely individuals from our downtown engagement center to try to get individuals who are walking around our downtown area that have mental health issues the help they might need. And so in looking at crime numbers, it's the same this year as it's been in many years, where our crime's a little low in the winter months, and then it just starts to creep up to a peak in July, August of the year when there are a lot of people out and about in our downtown area. The majority of our assaults and crimes of that nature happen Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night into Sunday morning from about midnight till 1, 2 in the morning. And there are very few personal crimes or assaults that happen during the day. There's still that feeling of I'm not safe downtown, and we feel that a lot of the individuals that are exhibiting mental health crisis in the downtown area are giving a little bit of that feel, and so we want to make sure we reach out to them, get them the help they might need, hopefully try to get some people housed with this partnership that we're putting together. And we've now dedicated an officer, at least part of her time will be spent trying to do this. And so really what I think is going to be a successful plan to try to help with some of our people in mental health crisis and homelessness, and just building up those lines of communication with some of the other entities and partners in our downtown area that can help with that. So really excited to see where that's going to go into spring and summer and then fall of 2023. Public restrooms, this was something that came up last year, and basically the lack thereof in our downtown area, which is creating some biohazard type issues in our public spaces. And what we did towards the end of the summer in 2022 was we were able to get 3 porta-johns in our downtown area, and those are being monitored and they're actually being used, and they're not being wrecked or damaged like we thought might happen. And so because that's a success, we want to see something a little bit more permanent. And so a lot of the City of Fargo staff, working in conjunction with our downtown community partnership, we've been meeting. We're in the beginning stages of trying to formulate a permanent solution where we might have public restrooms available on all areas or all sides of our downtown area where it'd be easily accessible. So more to come on that throughout the year. There's some pretty interesting ideas that are out there, and really excited to see where that goes. Hoping within the next year, maybe 2 years, we'll have some type of public restroom solution, but in the very beginning phases of that. So just thought I'd update on that, and I'll keep everybody posted. The last thing I have before we give opportunity for public comment is our St. Patrick's Day parade is this Saturday. It was moved because of the inclement weather last Saturday. Everything is in place for it to go, and it looks like it's going to be good spring parade weather, I think mid-30s or at that time of the day on Saturday, March 18th. So our St. Patrick's Day parade, March 18th, 11 a.m. There will be a police presence along the parade route. There also will be parking restrictions. We'll be advertising parking restrictions in that NP Avenue, Broadway, Red River area, our downtown area, the parade route that we normally follow. That will be advertised 48 hours before the day of, and then vehicles will be towed if they're still in the parade route during that time frame, that 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. time frame on a Saturday, March 18th. So make sure if you live downtown, if you're out downtown the night before, that your vehicle is moved by 7 a.m. Saturday, March 18th, so that we can have that parade. St. Patrick's Day is always, that St. Patrick's Day parade, for me at least, always marks the beginning of spring, and there's some end in sight to this snow that's on the ground and the cold that we've been dealing with for the last few months. So that's really all I have today. I'm going to try to keep these as we go to 15 to 20 minutes, just with what I'm presenting, and give time for public comment if needed. Paul is back there with our blue cube of communication, and if anybody has anything they'd like to ask or say, there's a 2 minute and 30-second time limit on that. So anybody have anything? Any questions? Any concerns? Any comments? Good to see you again, Patrick. It's been a couple months.
Hold it up like this, aim it like this a little bit.
There you go.
All right, so I guess just some comments and questions. Last year, downtown download a year ago, the Jasper Hotel came, said that there were some noise issues downtown. The way you guys have dealt with it, I don't think has been fair. I've got documented 10 times that you guys, I guess, helped document for me that I called in on loud noises down in the downtown area. We've got food carts who play music. We have bars who pump music out into the streets. There's the rickshaw guy. There's people walking around with Bluetooth speakers. All forms of content, some of them commercial, some of them private. The fact that you're stopping street performers at 10 p.m. makes no sense at all. Other people are allowed to continue on with their content. The dispatch and the police officers out on the street I will say, there's the loud noise, there it is. And this is at a bar. So that's the content that you guys aren't responding to calls, you guys aren't doing anything about it. I guess my question is, are you going to shut down all of the music and all of the noise at 10 p.m. or is it just the street? Are we going to continue to unequally enforce these city ordinances that are on their face obviously unconstitutional?
Okay. Well, I appreciate your questions, Patrick, and I appreciate the wonderful recording. So this is the thing. We all learned something last year when it came to the noise ordinance and how we enforce it, and in developing a plan for this year. The fact of the matter is that we have a specific city ordinance that says that street performance is done at 10 p.m., and that's what's being enforced. We also have loud and necessary noise ordinances. We also have amplified sound permit requests that people can fill out. And I agree that we have bars that are creating noise that's too loud, and that's something that we're working on and addressing. It's my turn to talk now, Patrick. Okay, so last year we did enforce, we did give warnings, and there are different ordinances for different types of things. And so what I can tell you that we're going to do this year is we're going to enforce loud and unnecessary noise on our Fargo streets, on Broadway especially. We're going to be enforcing that street performance time frame again. And so it's good for you to know as a street performer, it'll be the same. We'll also be meeting with and working with our downtown bars to make sure that they understand what those rules are and that they're in compliance with those rules. And then, of course, we're also doing a noise study to try to determine what an appropriate volume amount might be in the downtown area for a forthcoming revision to our city ordinance on how to address all of these things. And so a short answer, yes, we're going to be enforcing our city ordinances. We're going to be working in partnership with individuals downtown, which would be including you. I want to make sure that you understand our city ordinances, and I want to make sure as it pertains to your performances and as it pertains to loud and unnecessary noise, so that you're fully aware and fully understand what we're doing. It's going to be the same as we started enforcing towards the end of last summer. And we're going to be enforcing our city ordinances as they are written with everybody in the downtown area as it pertains to them. So, anybody else have any questions? No other questions? All right, well, I appreciate you all being here today. If you have any questions on loud noise, ordinances, anything like that, always feel free to reach out to me. And our next download will be in June. We'll make sure we advertise as needed. Everybody have a great day. Hopefully it doesn't snow too much tonight into Thursday. I'm tired of those white flakes. Have a good morning.